Welcome to Riddled Get Thinking, where history is always riddled with mystery. Today we're taking a slight detour from historical people and events and venturing into one of the biggest mysteries humanity has ever faced. What happens after we die? Does life continue beyond death? And could ancient esoteric teachings hold the key to unlocking this ultimate mystery? And what if quantum physics, specifically the idea of quantum entanglement, plays a role in understanding the afterlife? Stay tuned as we explore some of the most controversial and thought-provoking theories about life after death. And before we dive in, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more journeys into the unknown. Life after death, a universal question. It's a question that has puzzled humanity for millennia. Every culture, every religion, and every philosophy seems to have its own take on what happens after we take our final breath. Some say we ascend to a higher realm, others believe we're reincarnated, and many think death is the ultimate end. But what if the answer is more mysterious than we ever imagined? What if ancient esoteric teachings, passed down through secret societies, hold the true key to life after death? The esoteric tradition, hidden knowledge of the afterlife, esoteric traditions from ancient Egypt to the mystery schools of the Greeks, all suggest that death is not the end, but merely a transition. Take the Egyptian Book of the Dead, for instance. This ancient text details the journey of the soul through the afterlife, navigating challenges before reaching the ultimate goal, the field of reeds, a paradise for the soul. But is this symbolic, or were the Egyptians pointing to something real? And what about the Greeks, who believed in a complex underworld ruled by Hades? Could these ancient teachings be offering us a roadmap to what lies beyond? Reincarnation, a controversial belief across cultures. Reincarnation is another key belief when it comes to the idea of life after death. The concept of being reborn after death has deep roots in Hinduism and Buddhism, but it's not confined to the East. Some esoteric traditions in the West also talk about the cyclical nature of life, birth, death, and rebirth. The 20th century mystic Rudolf Steiner, founder of anthroposophy, argued that reincarnation and karma are fundamental truths of existence. But here's where the pool of knowledge hides what lies beneath. Can we really come back? And if not, how do we explain the rare but startling cases of children who remember past lives? A chance retelling from imagination, synchronicity, or something more tangible? There have been documented cases of children recalling intricate details of lives they couldn't possibly have known about. Are these simply anomalies of memory? Or could they be glimpses into something deeper, suggesting that our souls have lived many lives before? Near-death experiences, proof of the afterlife. Perhaps the most intriguing pieces of evidence for life after death come from near-death experiences, or NDEs. People who have been clinically dead for a short period but later revived often report astonishing experiences, floating above their bodies, moving through tunnels of light, meeting deceased loved ones, or even encountering beings of light. These experiences transcend culture and geography, with similar stories being told across the world. But the question remains, are these real experiences of an afterlife, or just the brain's way of coping with the trauma of death? Scientists, of course, have their own explanations. Many believe that these experiences are the result of chemical reactions in the brain as it shuts down. But for those who've had an NDE, the experience is often life-changing. They're convinced that they've glimpsed something beyond the veil of death. Could this be the proof that so many have been searching for? Quantum entanglement, a link between life and death. Now, here's where things take an even more fascinating turn. What if quantum physics, specifically the concept of quantum entanglement, holds the key to understanding life after death? Quantum entanglement describes a phenomenon where two particles become linked in such a way that the state of one instantly affects the state of the other, no matter the distance between them. This mysterious connection has led some physicists and metaphysical philosophers to speculate that consciousness itself might operate on a quantum level. If consciousness is not confined to the brain, but rather a form of energy, could quantum entanglement explain how our essence or awareness continues after the body dies? Could it suggest that we are entangled with something greater, and death is simply the moment when our individual consciousness reconnects with a larger universal field, or we leave the cave and return to our true forms? A dualism for the 21st century. It's a controversial idea, but one that raises profound questions about the nature of life, death, and the universe itself. Esoteric teachings of immortality. One of the most provocative claims of certain esoteric traditions is the possibility of achieving immortality, not just of the soul, but of the body itself. Alchemists throughout history have sought the philosopher's stone, a substance said to grant eternal life. In Taoist practices, we hear of the immortal body achieved through spiritual exercises and discipline. Could it be that these ancient teachings contain the secret to prolonging life indefinitely? Of course, these ideas are often met with skepticism, especially in the scientific community. But throughout history, there have been stories of sages, mystics, and even saints who've lived far longer than normal human lifespans. Have they found the secret? Or is this just wishful thinking, a human desire to escape the inevitable? Controversial theories. Are we all energy? Here's a more modern esoteric idea that's been gaining traction. The theory that we're all just energy and that death is simply a transition from one state of energy to another. Some physicists and metaphysical researchers suggest that consciousness itself is not bound to the body, but is a form of energy that continues after death. If this is true, then perhaps the afterlife isn't a place at all, but a state of being, an evolution of consciousness to a new form. And here is where quantum entanglement could come in again. If we are all energy, then death might simply be the moment when our entanglement with this physical world ends and we transition into another state of existence. It's a fascinating theory, but it opens up a whole new set of questions. If we're just energy, where do we go after we die? And more importantly, what happens to that energy? Does it merge with a larger whole, or do we retain some form of individuality? The question of life after death remains one of the greatest mysteries of all time. While esoteric teachings, quantum theories, and near-death experiences offer tantalizing glimpses into what might lie beyond, the truth remains elusive. After all, we may simply be holographic projections from another galaxy. But one thing is for sure, this is a mystery that we're all destined to encounter one day. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the unknown. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. And remember, history isn't just about the past, it's a riddle waiting to be solved. This is Riddled Get Thinking, signing off.